Okay, let's go back to when you were a young person, when you would go to concerts. What do you remember? What band was it? You go to this concert with your buddies and you go, man, someday, dude, that's going to be me. And you can come along for the ride. And when we go backstage, I'm going to tell these suckholes, you listen in Triumph? I'm going to own you someday. Or what? Who was that band? What was that concert when you were with your buddies?
Metallica, Justice for All tour.
Really?
Yep, that was the one. Yeah, that one was just like, that was life-changing for me.
Uh-huh.
And they were the biggest band in the world at that point in time. I'm still a huge Metallica fan, and that one just really kind of, I started playing the guitar, probably because of Metallica. When I was 13 years old and I picked it up for the first time, I wanted to learn as many Metallica tunes as I possibly could. So that was a game changer for me.
Did you get backstage?
Go ahead.
Did you get backstage and have a chance to ever meet him?
No. I met him in France a couple of years ago, and got to hang out with him for about an hour, and really just kind of shoot the breeze, and I talked to him, and it was really cool. When you're always nervous when you meet somebody that you really truly admire, because the last thing you want to do is walk away from that experience and be let down.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, geez, it's just, whoever it is, whatever it is, it's kind of like that they weren't as nice, or they just weren't as, interested in speaking to you, kind of thing. And I always keep that in the back of my mind when I'm meeting people who are big fans of my band. I want to make sure that they leave going, okay, that was great. So now not only do I love the music, but the guys were really genuine and down to earth. So.
But did you turn into that fan meeting Metallica? Hi, my name is Chad.
I tried so desperately not to turn into that fan.
It is a fine line. After Joey got to meet you guys, I wrote a blog about how there is that moment where the fan is super, super excited, and the artist is trying to muster up some sort of enthusiasm for something they've done 1,000 times, and somewhere it has to meet in the middle. And I mentioned that all of us, and we were all radio guys, sitting backstage, and we had a little mirrored ball and everything going on, and you guys were talking and this and that, and then whoever's job it is to usher us all out, comes in and ushers us all out, except my kid. I don't know which one of you guys held Joey back, but then the rest of you guys are all sitting there talking to him, and he comes out exactly the way you wanted him to, coming out saying, that is the greatest rock band that I know, and they're cool guys too. So mission accomplished, and what an interesting
mission accomplished.
Interesting goal to have, and interesting more so that you are able to and continue to accomplish it. I think that's very cool. How does that play into this stage seating thing for this tour? The tickets that we're giving away that we have no idea what they are.
Oh, the
side of the stage is what we're calling
it.
Yeah, we've got two little coves sort of cut right into the sides of the stage, and I don't know how many people you can fit in there, 10, 15 maybe, and you just can't really get any closer than that.
Yeah,
you're kind of like right, you're almost on stage with us while we're performing, and so there's a lot of stuff to look at. You're kind of in amongst us, and so you're up at the screen and you're over at Daniel playing the drums, and you're looking at Ryan, and or Mike's on the other side, and you're right there. And it's a really cool experience. You can't really, for anyone else, if you said, here, come here and stand right here, and put that microphone in front of you and look that way.
Yeah,
at all of those people. That's as close as you're going to get to that exact experience, because you're looking out and you're watching the reaction of everything when the flames go off, when the screen lights up and whatever's on it, at any point in time, you get to turn and look at the reaction of all the people from that cove. So it's pretty cool.
You guys have the rare insight, because of when you came up and got popular in the mid to late 90s to now. Music purchasing, completely different. It's changed 180 degrees. And I wonder if you think about that at all when you guys are getting ready to put out a record or go on a tour, and you look at something like U2 did late last year with that free download of their album.
Oh.
Do you look at that and go, "Whew, I'm glad they made that mistake, so now we won't"? Or is that something that like all bands were thinking about doing until they saw what happened with U2, and now everybody's fine tuning that delivery method?
Well, Radiohead's been leaking their own albums for years.
Yeah.
Unbeknownst to the public or not, I mean, I think the first time it happened, they were kind of like, well, it wasn't us. And then they were kind of like, no, we're just going to give it away for free. I just think when I think people really view their phones as sacred, and when you start like pushing anything to their phones automatically and they have to have it on there, that's a little intrusive.
Yeah.
So in terms of, I mean, people go and listen to streams of music all the time, and they don't really realize, but they're listening to it and not paying for it. So I mean, people have been stealing music for the last, I don't know.
They were stealing music when I was in college.
Years.
Yeah. So
I mean, so how come when U2 does it, all of a sudden there's this big uproar like, hey, don't you dare give this to me for free. You make me pay for this.
Oh, have you heard it? Have you heard it?
There's a reason for that.
Outrageous. But as a musician,
so stupid.
How did? As a musician, though, when that whole thing played out, what was your reaction? Because it blew up in their face unexpectedly. Did you cringe or did you revel in it? I don't know. What, as a musician, I'm curious to hear.
I just think people are bored. Somebody tried to give you an album for free and you got all pissed and up in arms at it. Like, come on.
Okay. All right.
No, that's a great answer.
Really? Really? That's what you're going to waste your time on. You're gonna blog and you're gonna comment and you're gonna like make a big deal because somebody tried to give you something for free. Like that's I don't know. I really don't understand the logic in that one. I don't think there is any logic in it.
Okay, you mentioned you guys all have a great sense of humor. Favorite Trailer Park Boys episode? Scott, it has to be one, right?
Oh, let me see. The one where Bubbles gets left in the freezer.
Right on, eh?
They're trying to steal the meat.
Very cool. Oh, yes. That bread feels wonderful, Ricky. Wonderful.
Bubbles' name is Mike.
Mike Smith, right?
Mm-hmm. Mike came to a show in Vancouver, and he was backstage, and he just, when he walks in the room, he just doesn't look anything like Bubbles until he puts those glasses on and sticks his jaw out like that, right? So he's there, and at one point in time, somebody called me, and it was after the show. And there was, 30 people in the dressing room, and we're all drinking and having fun and blah, blah, blah. And he grabs the phone out of my hand and starts doing Bubbles right into the phone, and the whole room just stopped, turned, looked over at it, because I don't think half the people there knew that he was, he plays the character Bubbles. And I got to tell you, I mean, he had the whole place roaring in seconds. One of the coolest things ever.
And Ricky's like, I don't know why you're getting all excited about Chad Grover. I don't know what band he's with.
Saturday night, you guys will not disappoint. I saw in the review that there's a couple of Eagles covers that you guys do. I know you don't want to tell everybody what the show's going to sound like, but is there more of that type of surprise in store for Moline?
Well, every tour we kind of stumble onto these songs, and if you're holding a guitar and you just start strumming something and you have no idea that the crowd is going to know every single word to some songs, and then you just kind of keep strumming, and then next thing you know, you've got thousands of people screaming the words to, some classic song at the top of their lungs, and it turns into like this huge campfire / party / karaoke event, and it gives you goosebumps. In fact, while the crowd's doing it, you can just tell that they're getting more excited because they get louder and louder, and that stuff is a lot of fun. I want to keep doing that till the day we're not doing this anymore.
So you guys just kind of decided to try doing that just to entertain yourselves, and it caught on? Is that basically...
No, it was not even that, just an accident. Just a total accident. One of these happy accidents where you just kind of start strumming something and go,
right.
Anybody know the words to this?
And next thing you go,
screaming.
let's do that again tonight, man. That was awesome. They
Yeah,
liked it
yeah.
in Toledo. So.
Yeah, when you have those happy little accidents, it's like you want to. It's like, okay, we're doing that again.
I think my response to that would be, "Hey, man, I paid $60 for a ticket. I'd appreciate it if you would sing." I don't know. That's just me.
Well, my immediate response afterwards is, "How come you sing so loud to that one and not that loud to ours?"
Ouch! The pride of Hannah, Alberta, Nickelback. Although you'll probably surprised to know on Hannah's Wikipedia page, you guys aren't even mentioned separately.
The Wikipedia page for his hometown?
Yeah, Lanny McDonald. Any idea?
Who's Lanny McDonald?
Lanny McDonald is a Hall of Famer that played for the Calgary Flames.
Okay, well, he's all over the Wikipedia page for your hometown. Otherwise, it says members of Nickelback. Doesn't even mention you guys by name.
And then one of the founding fathers said, "Come on, man, it's Nickelback for Pete's sake."
Right. So you get no respect.
I'm trying. Well, look, Chad, I appreciate you talking to us. For a rock star, you're still such a down-to-earth guy in the examples that you shared with us and that we shared with you, and we've told the listeners about this video thing that we're going to do, this time-lapse deal of I think it's like Nickelback in 60 seconds, how the arena goes from an ice rink to a concert stage to a packed house back down to an ice rink. And that's awful cool for you guys to do that along with us, and we will gladly share the footage with you.
I can't wait to see it, too. I think it's going to look really cool.
If it doesn't, we've got 2 interns that'll be looking to help you guys out as roadies.
If you guys use any of the footage, please, though, don't mention our names. We don't want our names mentioned along with you guys. We can't handle the criticism.
Right.
We're we got we got big egos.
Yeah, I hope you understand. We don't want to be branded as Nickelback fans, okay?
No, I totally understand. You guys can just crank it up in your car when there's no one else in there and scream at the top of your lungs like everyone else
That's
does.
exactly right.
It's like you're there, man. All right, Saturday night, brother. We'll come back and see you, okay? And then we'll for sure encourage everybody to come out and see the show.
That's a great ending to the interview you did there.
I'm a professional.
Yeah,
this is
really
why you don't
good.
want to go on the second best morning show in the Quad Cities. You got the best of the best. Dude, thanks again, man. We'll see you Saturday night.
Guys, thank you so much for taking the time.